If you're looking for the best SD card recovery software right now, you've probably already seen dozens of different options, and honestly, many of them look almost the same. So I tested a bunch of SD card recovery tools and picked 6 that stand out for different reasons. I'll show what they're good at, where they fall short, and when each one makes sense. Let's get into it. Number 1, DiskDrill. First up is DiskDrill, which is, in my opinion, the best memory card recovery software overall. What I like about it is that it's strong without being complicated. The interface is clean, filters make scan results easier to sort, and in my tests, it handled different data loss scenarios well. Deletion, formatting, corrupted file systems, and lost partitions. It can also keep original names and folders when file system data is still available and gives you unlimited preview before recovery even in the free version. For SD cards specifically, 2 things stand out. First, when DiskDrill has to rely on signature-based recovery, its raw photo and video format support is especially strong, which matters most for camera cards. Second, it has advanced camera recovery, a feature built for fragmented video files from action cameras and drones. Most tools may find those videos but fail to recover them in playable condition, but DiskDrill can identify the right fragments and put them back together. It also has a few useful extras, like disk imaging for unstable SD cards and browser-based video repair. Of course, DiskDrill isn't without limits. It works on Windows and Mac OS, but there's no Linux version, and video repair isn't built directly into the app. Still, for most SD card data loss cases, it's powerful, easy to use, and honestly, the tool I'd point most people to first. Number 2, UFS Explorer. UFS Explorer is the more technical SD card recovery tool that makes the most sense for targeted signature recovery. It lets you choose known file types, use recovery by known content, and add custom file signatures if you need to look for something specific. When the card still has recoverable file system data, it can also bring back structure and metadata pretty well. The trade-off is usability. Results are shown in a tree view, filtering is limited, and you can't preview files while the scan is running. The trial also only lets you recover files up to 256 kilobytes, so it's not great for testing real recovery. So UFS Explorer makes sense for people who understand what they're trying to recover and want more control over the scan. If you just deleted clips, it may be more than you need. Number 3, Recuva. If we're talking about free SD card recovery software, Recuva is the obvious one to mention. Its biggest advantage is completely free, unlimited recovery, and for simple cases, it holds up pretty well. It's easy to use, has basic filters and preview, and gives you a simple recovery chance indicator, which is useful for quick checks. The downside is that Recuva depends heavily on a readable file system. If the card turns raw or becomes unrecognized, it may not scan it at all. It's also Windows only and weaker with formatted cards, damaged file system records, or fragmented camera videos. For recently deleted JPGs or simple files, Recuva is fine as a free first attempt. But for more serious SD card recovery, I wouldn't stop there. Number 4, DiskDigger. DiskDigger is interesting mainly because it works on both Android and PC. The Android app makes sense for a quick check when you only need a few deleted photos from a card in your phone. For anything important, though, I'd remove the card and use desktop recovery software instead. DiskDigger's PC version is tiny, portable, and allows unlimited recovery for free, though it adds a 5-second wait between files. It also has basic preview and signature-based recovery for around 210 file types. The catch is uneven results. In my tests, Quick Scan missed a large chunk of deleted files on exFAT, and Deep Scan only works on FAT32. It also wasn't very fast, and video recovery is not its strongest side. So I'd use DiskDigger for quick targeted recovery, especially on Android. For complex cases, I'd move to a stronger SD card recovery software for PC. Number 5, TestDisk. TestDisk is different from the other tools here because it's not a regular file recovery app. It's more of a repair tool for structural problems, but it's genuinely good at what it does, and it's free. If your SD card shows up as raw, unreadable, or a partition has gone missing, TestDisk can rebuild the partition table or repair the file system enough to make the data accessible again. So if you need to recover individual files, this is not the right tool. And if it does fit your case, be ready to deal with a command line interface and a manual workflow. TestDisk also comes bundled with PhotoRec, a separate tool that can recover files by signatures when the original file system structure can't be restored. PhotoRec can be effective for data recovery, but the experience is still rough. No preview, no folder structure, no original file names, and no convenient way to recover only specific files. To sum up, if your issue is structural and you're comfortable with guides, TestDisk can be a solid option. Number 6, SanDisk RescuePRO Deluxe. RescuePRO Deluxe is the brand-specific pick here. If you bought a SanDisk SD card before, you may already have access to it since some cards include a 1-year RescuePRO Deluxe code. RescuePRO has a guided workflow, supports Windows and Mac, lets you preview recoverable files, and focuses on photos and videos. The Deluxe version adds support for fragmented video from professional cameras and extended RAW formats. The downsides are clear, though. RescuePRO feels dated, and I wouldn't trust it with messy cases like corrupted cards or lost partitions. It can be useful for simple photo and video recovery, but it's not a full recovery suite. So those are my 6 best SD card recovery software picks. For most people, DiskDrill is the most obvious first choice. It's user-friendly, handles the widest range of situations, and is especially good with fragmented videos. If you're on a tight budget, Recuva is a solid free pick for basic recovery, and DiskDigger works well for quick photo recovery on Android. UFS Explorer is for advanced users, TestDisk is for partition repair, and RescuePRO can be decent for simple flashcard recovery if your SD card came with an activation code in the box. If this was helpful, hit the like button, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.